Good evening, folks. This is Steve, and I'm broadcasting from the beautiful city of Chicago, Illinois, and I'm actually coming from DuPage County. How's everybody doing out there? I hope everybody is enjoying getting ready for the holidays. And as you can see, I have my shirt here, and it says Hope for the Future. There's several topics I wanted to talk about today, but one of the things I wanted to talk about today is just the holiday season about what a wonderful time this is for time of the year where everybody gets together with family and friends and enjoys opening up gifts, spending time with each other, and giving time of themselves. And I just want to say that it's not that getting together on Christmas Day is not always about the gifts. It's about giving of yourself and spending time with each other. So it's not really always about what you're going to get or what gifts you're going to get. The most important thing is spending time with family and friends. And I got a few verses over here that talks about that with loving each other. And it's the Leviticus 19:18. It says, "Love your neighbor as yourself." In Romans 13:8 through 10, it says, "Owe no one anything except to love each other, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law." John 15:12 says, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you." John 13:34 through 35 says, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love each other as I have loved you, that also loved one another. And then finally, Colossians 3:14 says, "Now concerning brotherly love, you have no need for anyone to write to you, for you yourself have been taught by God to love one another." Now, the thing I wanted to talk about today is there's many key aspects of the holiday season. I want to talk about this. So I have a whole list here that I'm looking at. Number one, spending quality time together, sharing meals, watching movies, decorating the house, or simply having conversations with your loved ones. Sounds good, doesn't it? Giving thoughtful gifts, presents that show you pay attention to their interests and needs. Of course, that's not really the most important thing. Acts of kindness, offering to help with chores, cooking, or errands for family members. Expressing gratitude, telling your loved ones that you appreciate what you appreciate about them, and sharing moments of thanks. Number five, being present and attentive, actively listening to others and putting away distractions when spending time together. And that includes for all you guys out there that are constantly on your phone. What I would encourage you to do is what I hopefully I'm going to try to do is try to put the phone away and not always look at it and just listen to other people. We should be really off our phones, that we spend so much time on social media that we seem to forget that there are the people around us and it tends to be a distraction. Number six, forgiveness and reconciliation, using the holiday spirit as an opportunity to mend any strained relationships. So, number seven, finally, number seven says creating new traditions, starting new family rituals that focus on togetherness and love. So those are just one of many things that you and your loved ones with family and friends can do this holiday season to show each others you care. And also just always just remember to think about all of the others that may not have a place to go for the holiday season, or people who are alone, or people who are struggling with whatever. And we just need to be remembered to think about them. This is a festive time, and we all need to learn to love one another. Oh, and also the good news is I will have a place to go for the holiday season. My friend Jennifer and her husband have a place, and I'll be spending Christmas Eve with them. So the Christmas Day with them. So there's a lot of things to be thankful for. Oh, and also we also have a lot of things to be thankful for, that we live in the greatest country in the world, and we also have to be very fortunate about what we truly have. There are people around the world, like in Africa, who are starving, who don't have food to eat, they don't have houses to live in. And we have all of these things, and we also need to be thinking about them as well. And we also need to be getting down on our knees and praying to God, and just being very thankful about what we have in America. And despite our struggles, uh, we could have it much, much worse, just like those people around the world. So it is very important that we need to be very thankful of what we have. We need to be thankful for a house. We need to be thankful for food. We need to be thankful for all the wonderful people in our life. And we also, just as my brother James has said, the rapture is coming, and all that stuff, everything that we have could just instantly be taken away. And as I said, regardless of who's in power or what politicians are in there, doesn't mean that these things can't be taken away from us. It can be taken away in an instant. And all of us have to be ready for what is coming. And if we're not ready, that's gonna be a very devastating thing, and I don't think that we're gonna be able to survive. So, are you out there? Are you prepared for what's coming? Of what's coming for 2025. I hope you are. I hope you're getting down on your knees. I hope you're constantly praying, and just be thankful. Just continue to be thankful for everything you have in this great and wonderful country. I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that I have friends around me. I'm thankful that I have a place to live. I'm thankful for food. I'm thankful for a good running car. And I'm just thankful for some of the people that are in my life and are my friends. So I could not be any more grateful. There is a topic that I really wanted to discuss with all of you, and I mainly is just to discuss with some of the men out there. And it's a very touchy topic, and it's mainly referred to some of the men and women out there, and it's all over the internet. And I just really want to give you my perspective on it, and and just speaking from experience and some of the research that I have done or I have conducted. The topic is, can women and men be just friends? That's a topic that is a very interesting topic. As I've seen many, many, many views on it. And I understand that everybody has different views on opposite sex friendships. And I thought it's a very important topic that I think we should get into. So I guess the question is can women and men, opposite sex, so now whether you are married or whether you're in a relationship, can they be just friends? Well, yeah, that's a very touchy topic. It really depends. The man-woman relationship tends to be very complicated, and it doesn't always work out very well. Man-woman friendships, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I would say that my answer to this question of whether men and women friends, I would say that about 85 to 95% of the time, the answer would probably be no. Women and men just can't be just friends unless there are certain boundaries that are set, or unless you're very open with your partner about what this friendship is. And no, you probably would be, I guess if you're a man, you'd probably be better off with just having more men friends. And if you're a lady, you probably would be better off of having more female friends, because the man-woman relationship tends to complicate things. And it's not really that's not really the problem. It's just that men and women are wired so differently, and the way men think in our society. And there's so many people out there in our society that are trying to make us all the same. They're trying to say there's no difference between the genders. There's no difference between men and women. And men and women are very, very different, and that's just how they are differently wired. But I do have some female friends, and but most of them are either married or engaged. But and their husbands or their boyfriends know who I am, and you can have good friendships with women if you're in the workplace, if you have colleagues and your people you work with, you can be good friends with women, and men can be great friends as long as as long as you make the case that it's just strictly a professional relationship and nothing more, and that there are certain boundaries that you can set. Because if you don't do that, that you can end up in the situation that I ended up in one situation where there can be misunderstandings, and there are people who can get their feelings hurt. So it's really important that if you're a man, or if you're in a man-woman relationship, it's very important that you have open communication with your partner about where you actually stand, and be really open about your friendship. Talk to each other, communicate. Tell each other what's going on. It's really, really important, especially if you're friends with a woman. Well, men too, but especially if you're friends with a woman, because women and men are so traditionally different. But I guess the big answer, as I said once before, can women and be friends? It really depends, because the man-woman relationship is very complicated. There was a movie in the late 80s called When Harry Met Sally. And as you can see, even it starred Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. It was about this woman and this man that met, and they decide, and it was the real test was, says, could women and men be friends? And in the movie, it showed clear that it's very, very difficult for a man and a woman to be friends. It's very, very difficult unless there are certain boundaries that are set. And usually, most of the time, as in the movie, the boundaries get broken and they end up sleeping together or whatever. And usually that doesn't work out so well. But the question is I'm not saying that men and women can't can't be have some sort of a friendship, but it's very, very difficult, because men and women are wired so differently. And if there's a lot of sexual tension, or if there's a lot of personal feelings that usually happen between men, and it can be very, very difficult to have man-woman relationships unless there are boundaries set, and unless you're really open with your partner about who you are, and it's important that you talk to each other. But I'm not saying that men and women can't relate to one another. But it's just be very hard, especially if the lady is single, or is single or whatever, especially if you're dealing with somebody as single. If you're like in a relationship like I am, I don't know. I'm not sure that it is appropriate for me to be hanging out with a woman for dinner if I'm in a relationship. If my It's probably not appropriate for my girlfriend to have a lot of male friends, which I'm not against her having male friends. I mean, if you want to have male friends, but I have to know about them and I have to meet them. So it makes things really uncomfortable. And especially if you're in one of those, if you're looking to be in a monogamous committed relationship. And I think usually that's what the goal of a man and a woman is to do, is to move beyond the friendship stage and get into a monogamous relationship. Now there are some men and women out there that have casual friendships, and sometimes it probably works for some people. It works for some, it doesn't work out for others. But the main purpose is you really there are some men and women out there that always want some sort of a commitment. And usually if you're going to be in a relationship with the opposite sex, you'd be probably be better in either some sort of a commitment and or some sort of a commitment or a monogamous relationship instead of what we call a platonic friendship where you give nothing to each other. So, I am currently in a relationship with somebody that I have been for 7 years. I'm pretty happy with it. She doesn't have any male friends. I don't have any female friends. The only female friends that I have are just people who are married or engaged, but I don't really hang out with them. And most of them are just either co-workers from work or just maybe acquaintances at church. And I have all of their numbers, but I think if a man and a woman is going to get together and they want to hang out together, it may or may not be appropriate. And if they want to get a cup of coffee, that might be appropriate. But is consistently, if you're somebody of the opposite sex, it might be better to just be in the typically in a group setting, and that's probably the best way that opposite sex people can get together and be friends. And so that's just what I wanted to say. And it's for all you men out there that tend to maybe misinterpret the signs of certain women. There are women out there that will send very mixed signals to men, and we tend to miss those signs. They might say hello to us, they might wink at us, and they might smile, and we as men out there, it might give us the impression that they like us. And usually that is not always the case. It could be that they're just being nice, or maybe there's just these women out there that are just looking for a little bit of male attention. And I notice that there's all these women out there that tend to dress very provocatively. They put on a lot of makeup, and they do it for a specific reason. They're basically looking for a little bit of male attention, and we men out there don't seem to miss those signs. And there are some men out there that we seek the attention of females. But when a woman out there, if she continues to, if she dresses provocatively, she puts a lot of lipstick on, men are going to look at you, ladies. They are going to look at you. They are going to do those things to you. And that's what we do out there. If you're dressed a certain way, men are going to look. So that's what they do. But also at the same time, I think it is also important for all of us men out there to learn a little bit of self-control. But you can't help it sometimes when there are women who dress this way. So if you're a lady out there and you put on a lot of makeup or a lot of lipstick and you dress provocatively, what message are you sending to the men? So so that's just kind of my perspective. So I just want to kind of just help the guys out there to really understand that just because a woman looks at you or she smiles at you, it's probably just because she's just wants to be nice to you. It doesn't mean that she likes you. It does, yeah, absolutely. You just have to really know what the signs are, and you have to pay really good attention, because if you don't pay good attention, then what happens is there tends to be a lot of misunderstandings out there, and then each of us both ends up getting hurt in the end, and that's not what we want. So it's very important to attention that you begin to that men and women are very wired very differently, and it's important that you got to read the signs out there with opposite sex friendships. So I think there's a lot of hope in that, but as I said before in the beginning, I think women and men are wired very differently, and the relationship that men and women have tends to be very complicated. So that's just all I wanted to say. But that's kind of that was my topic for today. So I hope that this helps a lot of people out there, especially during the holiday season. So I wanted to take the opportunity to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and just to continue to pray for me, and let's continue to pray for our country in the new year, and have a very happy 2025. I just sent my friend James Carter some Bibles and some stuff from Odyssey. I work for Tyndale House Publishers. They're a wonderful company out there. If you ever get a chance to get want a Bible, you know who to talk to. So they're right over here in Carol Stream, and they're a great company. I've been there for 4 years, and all the people are wonderful, great people, and also a great Christian company. And they really treat their people well, and they treat their employees very, very well. So, so this is Steve A. I continue to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas for the holidays, and maybe hopefully happy New Year. And hopefully I will have a new video in the new year when I have something to add. But I just wanted to say all these things because I had some things that I wanted to share. So this is Steve A, a voice in the desert, broadcasting from the beautiful city of Chicago, Illinois. And I just wish everybody a very good afternoon. Bye bye.